Father, in Jesus' name, we pray that you will speak to your people today. You will bless your children. You will release your word and cause your spirit to communicate your truth with clarity, with grace, and with freedom. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so today's message is the importance of a father in a daughter's life. The importance of a father in a daughter's life. The importance of a father in a daughter's life. Why do we need a father in the house? Why is a father important to the baby girl? Why is the father important to the growth and health of the baby girl? What is the importance of the role of the father in the life of the daughter? This is because men or fathers, real fathers, not just male, not just boys, not kids, but real fathers. Fathers play an important role in the life of a baby daughter, a baby child. Fathers play a very important role in the life of a baby child, of the girl child, and the baby girl. The father brings affirmation to her. A father is supposed to bring affirmation to the girl. The father is the foundation of the house, the foundation of the family. So as the foundation, the father needs to bring that affirmation to the girl. When girls grow up in families where there was no father figure, where there was no real father, maybe there was father there present, or maybe there was a male there present, but if there was no real father figure, if the father that was there never played an active role as a father, if the father never acted like a father and never was an active father for the girl, there are some consequences to that. So what are some of those consequences? When a girl is growing up without a father, she's not affirmed. She did not get the attention of the authority figure in her life, and that means she will be looking for attention whenever she grows up. A lady will be looking for attention if she grows up without getting the affirmation of a father, without getting the attention of the father. If the father did not give her that attention, if she had that attention deficiency, she will suffer from it when she grows up. She's going to either be looking for it everywhere, left and right, or she's going to be timid. She's going to grow up timid, shy, and of low self-esteem. So one of the consequences of a girl growing up without a father is that she might end up being a victim, falling in the hand of the wrong men, because she'll be looking for acceptance and for affirmation through other men. She is really looking for a man. She's not looking for a man, she's actually looking for a father. But the men don't know that, and the men tend to take advantage of such ladies, such girls. Let me tell you some of the research that has been done. This is a scientific research that was conducted for girls that grew up without a father between the age of 18 and 80. So it's a large scope of research that was done between the age of 18 and 80. So that's a long one. So all girls of any age, they have the same consequences of when they grow up without a man. The first one is that those women who grew up without a father or without a father figure, it doesn't have to be their father, physical father, but the father figure is important. Maybe it's the brother, or maybe it's the uncle, or maybe it's the godfather, or maybe somebody who is there, maybe the teacher, or maybe it's the coach or the trainer, or maybe it's even a woman, but who is an authority and like a father figure to that child. But when a girl grows up without a father figure, So what are the consequences? Number one consequence is that she experiences lower self-esteem. She experiences lower self-esteem. This is between the age of 18 and 80. She does not feel herself complete because she did not get the affirmation. She experiences low self-esteem because she didn't feel that pillar present in her life in the early years of her life. So the affirmation of the authority that she's supposed to have, because she doesn't have it, she experiences lower self-esteem. The next thing that happens to a girl like that grows up without, and this is in the adult years. When she's small, she doesn't know and she doesn't experience that. But later on, when she grows up, these are the kind of consequences that come up in the life of such a girl. The second consequence is that a girl like that didn't have a father is most likely to experience anger-related issues. A girl like that might have angers. So, she might not talk, but she's easily angry and annoyed. She's easily irritated. She's angry, but she could be quiet and be silent inside her, but she's experiencing anger. And she might not have the confidence to speak out. She might not have the confidence to fight or to resist, but she's not happy. She's all easily offended. A girl like that has anger issue. A lady like that has anger issue. And so a father is needed to be able to give her a comfort, to be able to give her acceptance. Why is a lady like that having anger issue? Because she's always thinking that people don't receive her. She's always thinking that people don't accept her. She's looking forward to people's affirmation, to people's recognition, to people's acceptance. And when they don't give her the kind of attention she asked for, or she needed, or she wants, she gets angry. She gets irritated, and she hides it in some places. Some more violent girls, more aggressive girls might show it, but most might not show it. But she's having internal pressure and external violence and anger inside her. Another thing that this kind of ladies suffer from is depression. So a girl that grew up without a father, or without a father figure, and without a father figure and a father presence in her life, she is most likely to suffer from depression, because she's looking forward, especially if she doesn't have attention of men, if she's not having boyfriend or attention of men, then she goes into depression. But in order for such women to escape from depression, because she's feeling dejected. So one of the things that those ladies do to escape depression is that they give up themselves to the attention of the men, because they want to escape that depression and they don't want to be in depression. The only other alternative is to be active, sexually active, but they don't go out to be sexually active initially. They just, because they need the attention of the men and they want to be accepted, and they do anything they need to do to be accepted. And, since that is what the men ask for, and they end up giving out the thing. And they become promiscuous. So whenever you see a girl that is promiscuous, we should not be in a hurry to judge her. We should not be in a hurry to condemn her. There is a story behind her. If you see a girl that is promiscuous, a girl that is going from one relationship to the other, or that is from one man to the other, it's not because she is bad. Don't even ever think that a girl is bad. It could only be because, she did not get something. There is something that has been missing in her life. She just needs to be loved. She needs to be covered. And she needs to, somebody needs to give her that acceptance and that protection that she lacked from the very beginning of her life. But if she is not promiscuous, the only other option is that she is a little bit withdrawn and depressed. So a high possibility of depression in the life of a girl or a woman that did not have a father. If she's not depressed and she's not withdrawn, most likely she's on the opposite, active, sexually active, and sexually provocative, because she needed the attention to survive. She needed the attention to survive. The next other thing that happens to women or girls that grew up without a father care, a father love, and without a father figure in their life, is that they become those kind of girls have emotional difficulties in relationship. They have emotional problems in their marriages, in their relationship. Emotional difficulties, especially in their intimate relationships, in their husband, wife, with their husband. Because they are always demanding attention from the husband. And if the husband doesn't know, and if the husband doesn't know how to relate to a girl like that, he might not even give her any special attention. And if she doesn't have that special attention, she will be thinking dejected. And she will be thinking that she is not loved. She will be thinking that she is not accepted. She will be thinking that she is not maybe worthy of that man, or that man is not treating her well, or that man is underperforming, undergiving her what she needed. So a lot of issues might be related to a situation when a girl grew up without a father, without a father's care, without a father's love, and without a father figure in her life. So she is most likely going to have emotional issues. She might be crying a lot. She might be telling the husband that you don't love me. She might be waiting for the affirmation of the husband more than usual to be, letting her know that he loves her, and that to be affirming his love to her, on regular basis. Another fallout of growing up as a girl without a man, without a father figure, and without a father, without a loving father, is that such girls sometimes suffer from fear. They live in fear of loneliness. They are always concerned and thinking that they are going to be lonely, or they are going to be abandoned, or they are not loved, they are not going to be accepted. So it's a bad thing not to have a lovely father when growing up, especially when you are a girl. A girl needs a father. A girl needs a loving father. A girl needs a father that will be, a shoulder for her to weep on. A girl needs a father that is going to accept her, give her absolute acceptance and absolute protection. When a girl is accepted by her father, she will not be looking for acceptance anymore from men and from other people. When a girl is accepted, truly accepted by her father, when there was a girl story that I heard. There are two girlfriends, and the girlfriend was always talking, saying, this girl, there are two Christians, and this one girl is saying, you know what, how are you dealing with it? I feel, they were maybe about 30 years old, and this girl is saying, I feel like I need a boyfriend, he's getting late, and she's always agitated that she doesn't have a boyfriend, she not nobody to marry her yet, and all that. And the other girl is even older. The other girl is like 35. And the other girl said, I'm okay. She said, so why is it that I'm feeling I need to marry, I don't have a man yet, I'm as agitated. Where is the man? Where I'm fasting and praying and all that? And the other girl saying, you know what, I don't feel anything is missing in my life. So they sat down together to examine why that. Why is it that I am suffering? I am feeling that I need a man, or urgently. I'm going to be left alone, and somebody needs to tell me they love me or they want to marry me. Even though she's a girl, she's still suffering she's a Christian, she's still suffering from that. And then the other lady, who is 35, was now telling this other girl that, you know what, I don't feel like I need a man even right now, even though I'm 35, and I don't care if I'm going to have him or not. So I say, why that? So the girl that is 35 and that is not feeling the pressure of having a man in her life, she now said, you know what, I had enough of attention when I was growing up. I had enough attention from my dad. My dad was there for me all the time. I was always sitting on his lap. I was always being on his neck. I had so much attention from him. I'm okay. I'm filled. I'm okay. I don't feel I need anything. I don't feel there's anything out there that I'm missing, and I don't feel there's anything there that I need. I don't feel that I need any other man. I'm okay. I'm filled. You see, that acceptance has filled her heart desire. Every girl, every little girl needed to be given that attention, that acceptance, that total acceptance, that absolute acceptance fills up a jar. It fills up a cup. And that when that internal cup is filled up like that, she would not be driven looking, because that voidness in her heart, when she grows up, it will grow bigger. And that voidness will now be, pushing her to be willing, to be wanting to find a man, and they need to be accepted by a man, especially if she's around a man that is more successful than her, or a man that is highly placed, or a man that is like a father. She would now be drawn to that man. It doesn't matter. And these kind of girls, sometimes they fall in love with married men. They fall in love with married men, and they cannot control themselves because they want the man to. They might not even fall in love, but they have a kind of attachment to these men, especially men who are older than them, because they are looking for their father. They are looking for their father and the acceptance of their father in the girl, in the man. They are looking for acceptance in the man. So the problem is the fact that this lady who is 35 years old, she's not worried. That is the greatest testimony that she's free inside. So for her attitude is, if God wants me to marry, I will marry. I don't care. I will marry. If God doesn't want me to marry, I'm enjoying my life. I'm living. I'm praising God, because the two of them are Christians. And the Bible says that if you are not married, you should concern yourself with the things of God. So this girl said, I'm not married right now. I concern myself with the things of God. But if I'm married, if it's time for me to marry, I'll be happy with it. If I'm not married also, I will be happy. She's free. She's free from it. But she's free to serve God right now when she's single, and she's free to be married at any time. So when she marries eventually, she's not going to be over dependent on the husband or on the spouse, and because people, especially the girls who didn't have a father when she was growing up, she now becomes over dependent on the husband. That is the problem. Even when they are married, they are still having that need for a special care, and they are still having that need that their husband will give them extra attention, extra. So these kind of ladies, even though they are married, but they want to be around their husband most of the time. They want the husband to be there for them. They are always hanging around. They are not independent. They cannot exist by themselves, and they demand too much from the man. And if you know men don't like you to demand too much from them. Men need you to give them their space. But these ladies, they find it difficult to give their man their space, especially when they are married. She thinks, now that I'm married, I have the official right. So she's asking for it. But if the man is strong and the man is not giving her that extra attention that she needed, then she goes into depression again. Even though she's married, but she will be in depression. So those are the kind of consequences that that ladies that grow up without a father care, go through. It's a challenge a little bit. So, but when you come to Christ, and even without coming to Christ, but when you mature, if you work on yourself, you might be able to overcome that. But if you don't work on yourself, you might be 50 years old and you are still having those problems. You might even be 60 or 70 years old and you will still be having the same problem. It's because the void that a father what a father was supposed to give from the beginning, what is the kind of fulfillment, affirmation that it was supposed to provide and give to that girl from the very beginning when she was small, he didn't do it. So it cost, the absence of a father cost the girl emotionally. She suffers emotionally as a result. She suffers also in relationships because it's more she's like going to be experimenting. She's, she has bad experiences. A girl that grew up without a father always experienced pain of, disappointment, being jilted by other men. People they could have broken relationships. Those kind of girls are dropped most of the time. Men will sleep with them and drop them. Men will sleep with them and drop them. And the reason why men drop them is because those men notice that she wants more than he is willing to give. She wants too much. And she's not dependent. She's not independent. She's not by herself. She cannot stand on her own. She's not free. She's not free to be able to stand on her two legs. And men don't like burdens. Men don't like to be married to troubles or problems. Men don't like girls that are demanding too much of them. So that's why they sleep with them and drop them. And another thing is that another thing that a father is supposed to do in the life of a girl is to bring that stability. A father is supposed to be that stability that stability figure, or that symbol of stability in the life of the girl, so that when things are tough, the father is supposed to always be there for her and always support her, always be her strength, and when things are tough, so that in life he's supposed to be there with her through all different situations in her life, so that when she's alone, she knows how to go through tough time. A father is supposed to help the lady to develop tough skin, thick skin, to help the lady, mature into surviving all kind of difficult situations. So much that by the time things are tough for her in her life, she is used to going through tough times. And when things get tough, she's also able to go tough. And then, like I said, if without a father, if a girl grew up without a father, she might not always know how to adequately accept or relate to men's love, men's affection. So sometimes she will run away from them. Sometimes she will open up too much to them. Sometimes she will hang on to them. Sometimes she will be depressed, hiding from them. So it's difficult for a girl without a father attention, a father figure to strike a balance, how to relate to a man. So a father's presence is needed. I'm not talking about a male's presence. Because a male could be present and it's not a father. It's not a real man. The fact that a man is in that house with something between his legs doesn't mean that he's a man. He needs to be aware of these things I'm saying. He needs to be a real man that is supposed to demonstrate these virtues that I'm talking about. He needs to be able to establish and bring these things in the life of the kid. The fact that he's just there sleeping in his room and coming out wearing trousers, that doesn't bring anything to the life of the girl. In fact, it might even be more destructive when a man is in the house and the man is big and he has 40 years old or 60 years old, and he doesn't have any authority. You see, the most important thing, one of the most important things in the life of, in the family in general, is that the man must have authority. The man must be a hero to his children. The man must have some kind of authority. So even just by being there, right, he must be an authority figure. The man should be the authority figure that the children can look up to. The children can think of and feel that authority, that feel that affirmation, feel that, that establishing, that they are established, that they are affirmed, that they are, they must look up to, they must be able to look up to him. They must be able to respect him. So not just a man that is just sleeping and waking up in the morning and not, no authority, that the children don't respect him. it is the respect, the authority, and the attention that the children will look up to. So, okay, now what I've spoken about so far are the effects, the consequences of lack of father in the life of a girl. Now, I want to, go deeper now. Let me tell you what are the things a father brings to the life of a girl. So what are the positive effects? What are the positive things the presence of a father will bring to the life of a girl? Why is a father a blessing? Why is it good that a father stays in the home and be there for his children, especially, in their early formative years, between the age of 3 to 7, especially between the age of 3 to 7. Those are the most important years. All those things are recorded in the subconscious mind of those children at that age. But in the age of the teenage age, they're already becoming more independent and things, but still, it's still good for the father to be there. Now, so what are the blessings? What are the advantages that that a father brings? What are the importance of a father in the role of the daughter, in the life of the daughter? Number one, a father is supposed to emphasize through his actions, through his words, through his attitude, is supposed to emphasize the importance and the significance of that child in their family. So a father is supposed to bring the feeling of you are okay, you are loved, you are accepted. That feeling of acceptance, that feeling of affirmation, the father needs to establish and confirm to the girl that she's okay. Because if that feeling, if that affirmation is not there in the life of that girl might be deceived by the world. And the world is so deceptive, not just these days, but let me tell you what I mean. In the world today, most girls tend to value each other, and even the whole world values a girl by her external look. The whole world values a girl or a woman by how she looks, by how she dresses, by outside look. But that's the reason, especially men. Men look at women and value them only by how they look. And if a girl is not giving a higher value of herself and the father is the one who can do that most. The mother too, parents, the two play a role, but the father, when the father says it, is much more, carries even a heavier weight than just when the mother says it. So the fact that there is a father to affirm to the girl that she is more valuable than how she looks, the fact that there is a father to affirm to the girl her importance just because she is, just because you are who you are, just because you are important, you are accepted, you are loved, you are precious, you are accepted, you are okay, you are all right, you are excellent, without even anybody telling, without even paying attention, too much attention, over attention to how she's dressed or how she looks, how she's beautiful. A father would not be going to be telling the child, you have breast or you have leg or you have this. Because that's it. Fathers don't do that. So father is supposed to be affirming and emphasizing other values in that girl. And the most important value is she is valuable all by herself. She is treasure, she is the treasure. So a father is supposed, who is a man, a father who is a man, that girl is supposed to experience a man telling her about her own importance. That girl is supposed to see the man, relating to her normally, not with lust and with, any attention to her body. So when she goes out now, she's not looking for that attention for her body. She's expecting everybody to relate to her like her father, especially the men. She's not. Whenever a man begins to look at her and assess her just by her body, she knows that that's not okay. That's not all right. She knows that you are supposed to look at me. I'm a human being, first of all. I'm a personality. I'm not just body. Relate to me, not to my body. So a girl like that will be able to put everything in perspective. A girl like that will be able to, run away from the ugly side of the men, from the perversive men, and from the dangerous men. She will be able to know how to protect herself, and she will be able to know that even if a man is interested in her, even if a man is wanting to marry her or something, that man, the man that will marry her, will not come to just talking about her body alone. That man that will marry her will be talking about her personality. That man that will marry her, the way for her to know is that he's noticing her quality, a girl like that will be able to assess a man by what the man is saying. Is the man saying a body only, or the man is saying the same thing the father says? It is when the girl notices that the boy is saying the quality, the me that my father is saying, and not just that my father is saying, that me myself is saying about myself. That wholeness, that healthy look. When she sees that, you are not just looking at leg and arm and breast and this, but you are looking at me, you are seeing me, you are seeing my own value. Then a girl should know that, yes, this person is the right person, because he is seeing me, he's not seeing my distance. So, because all those other things, the leg and the breast and all those things, they will fizzle away one way or the other, sooner or later. So, and if that's the only thing that has attracted the man to you, that it will be frustrated later on. It will be frustrated later on. But of course, men are men. Men will still see that, but he has to see something greater than those things. He has to see you, and because he sees you, even when those things are gone, he stays with you. He remains with you. He keeps loving you, your personality, your worth. So that is why a father should be there. A father should pay attention to the worth of the girl besides her body. A father should pay attention to the worth of the girl as she is inside, as is her. So that when she goes outside now, when all the world, the whole attention of the world will be talking about her flesh and her body and everything, she will not be deceived. She will not be carried away. And she will not go to make the same mistake that millions of women are making today, thinking that, yes, it's true, that is who she is, and that she's only worth how she looks, and that her whole worth is in her look. But she will know that no, my body is temporal, that I am who I am. I have accepted myself. It doesn't matter. It's not how I look that determines who I am. So that is one of the greatest things that a father will bring into the life of the daughter. One of the greatest things that a father can bring to the life of the daughter. Another thing that a father will bring to the life of the woman, of the girl, is a father brings, in Russia we say trezva, is a realistic view of life to the girl. A realistic view of life. A realistic view of life. This world is not giving the baby girl or the girls realistic view. They are telling her, oh, cosmetics, even sometimes when she's looking at her mother, a girl might be growing up and there's mother, she's looking at mother dressing, clothes, bags, and all that. So all those things, bag, cosmetics, hairstyle, she might be thinking that is what life is all about. But because a father is in the home too, a father is able to talk about other things that are important in life. A father can, for example, would be able to talk about, her getting a job done, about her dreaming big, or her having a goal, or of her, becoming somebody in life, of her, the worth, knowing her worth. So a father is supposed to help the girl to know her worth, to begin to to have realistic attitude to life, not just to live in the illusion world of dreams and illusions and mirage that everything will come from nowhere. But the father gives, the lady goals, agenda, tell her to become somebody, tells her about real life. Because fathers are always talking about goals and dreams. Fathers are always talking about dreams, visions, study well, get a good job, work well, you can become somebody. So those things bring a balance to the life of the girl. So the girl knows that life is not just about beauty, about looking nice, walking somehow. So the father will also know that life is, the girls will also know life is about achieving, life is about striving, life is about, moving forward. So it brings a kind of steadiness, a kind of, focus, a kind of, seriousness to life. That is another thing that a father brings into the life of the children. Another thing is that a father will bring in the life of the daughter is that it brings that feeling of safety. A father brings that feeling of safety, bring a protective edge, security. And that also is important for the girl. Why? Because the girl then will know what to look for in men. So if a girl does not feel safe around the man that is trying to marry her, she knows that, no, this is not what a father, I don't feel safe. I don't feel protected with this girl. He cannot be with this man. He cannot be my husband. He cannot be my husband. So that feeling of protection, peace, safety, covering that a father brings is needed for her. It's needed for her in her later life. And it's needed for her even before she marries. Even before she marries, she still needs that safety, that feeling of protection, because she knows at least there is somebody she can always run to. She knows that there is somebody who will always be there for her. She knows that family. She knows that nobody can deceive her. Boys cannot just come and deceive her with some, flattering stories. And, but she knows the real deal. She knows what a father gives. She knows the father brings protection. The father brings security, covering. And, that assurance that she has a home where she could go to. Because, in cases, I'm a pastor, so I know a lot of cases when ladies tell stories that they run away from home, or they go to marry at 17 or 19, or they leave home just because they don't feel safe, because they are looking for that safety. So can you imagine a girl that is not feeling safe at home? High possibility that one man or the other will come around and she will follow him. She will follow him because she is looking for that safety. But when she knows that there is no better place of safety for her than in her father's house, there is nothing like it. There is nothing like it. So fathers bring that feeling of safety, protection to the life of their daughters. So that's another reason why every daughter needs a father. Why there is the need for a father in every home. Next point. Another thing that a father brings to a girl's life is stability. The feeling of stability, the feeling that she is, that everything is okay. Father is around, dad is around, mom is around, stability. That feeling of stability. She will need it in her life because, especially the teenager, especially during the teen years And when a girl leaves home, she will need that stability. Because, there are so many challenges that a girl will face in her life. But if she had that stability, that feeling of secure stability, foundation, that she's standing on a firm ground, foundation, on a solid ground, it will help her not to miss road when she's alone, when she's growing up by herself, when she goes out to college. That feeling of stability makes her to know that she's okay. She knows she's secured in herself. She knows she's good. That is another thing that a man brings to the life of a daughter. Then another thing that a man brings that is very similar to stability is consistency. That is when a father brings this feeling of assurance, like the Bible says, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. So a father is supposed to be somebody that signifies that to our daughter, to our daughters, that let your yes be yes, let your no be no. So a father, especially when you promise your daughter something and you come true, you fulfill your promise, and it's a thing that is important for the girls, because the girls will meet with so many people who will be telling them things that will not come to pass. And she's supposed to be established on the basis of truth. She's supposed to be established on the basis of surety, consistency, that a man is supposed to be consistent. A man is supposed to be consistent with his word. A man is supposed to be consistent with his word and his attitude. That my father, when he says something, maybe he's strict, maybe he's either he's punishment or he's loving, but at least, or he's forgiving, but at least he's consistent with what he says. When he say don't do it, don't do it. When he say when you do it, it's good, it's good. So she needs that kind of a solid rock solid foundation. Rock solid foundation, and that kind of rock solid foundation is what a man brings to the table. When everything else around her is crumbling later on in life, and when everything is going awry, she knows that she stands on solid ground, the solid ground of a sound example, solid example that she got from the presence and from the example of her father. Next point, what a man brings, what a father brings into the life of the daughter, what a father brings into the life of the daughter is that feeling of unconditional love, I think I would say. Unconditional love. The Bible says that love covers multitude of sins and mistakes. So a father, everything happens in the family when you are with your children and children. Father can punish you, he can correct you, but even if you do wrong, your father must have corrected you, spanked you, or something like that, but he still receives you back after that. He might rebuke you, correct you, but he still receives you back. So that feeling of unconditional love, a girl needs it. A girl needs it. A girl needs to experience the forgiveness of the father. A girl needs to experience also the dislike of her father and the things that her father, that excites her father also. So she needs to be able to see that balance to life. That, they are not just going to be saying, oh, you are good, everything is good. No, she needs to be able to, that kind of brings some balance. And that's why a father is needed. Because, if it's only a woman sometimes the woman can just give love. The love that is not tough love. The love that is just soft love. The love that is just allowing her to do everything. And, to do anything she wants. And if that is the kind of love that you give to, even if you're a father, and that's the only kind of love you give to your child, it's not going to help her later on in the future. She's going to suffer as a result. But if you give her a balanced love, a love that will correct her if there is need for it, a love that will embrace her when there is need for it, a love that will tell her the truth, that is the kind of love that will support that girl through life. Because that is the love of truth. That is the love that will sustain her when things are tough and when things are good. She will be able to survive both the difficult times, and the good times. She will not be one-sided. She will not say, because the danger of that. Like, I used to have a secretary. If you are smiling to her and you are encouraging her and you are telling her good stuff, then you are good. But if she does anything wrong, she doesn't expect you to correct her. She doesn't even expect you to tell her the truth. Because if you tell her the truth, she will begin to get angry, and because she then later on, I discovered that she had never been punished by her parents. She's never been punished. One time they punished her in school. Her mother went to school to, So, but life will punish such girls. Life will punish you, because in life you will need to face real situations. So there will be some tough times. There will be some difficult times in life, and you must be able to face up with them. And things will not just be good in life. Things will not just be soft and sweet in life. Things will be sour sometimes. Things will be tough sometimes. So, and a girl needs to be taught to manage both the good and the bad, both the sweet and the sour. And that is why a man also is necessary. That's one of the reasons a man is necessary also. Another thing that a father brings to the table, why a father is needed in a girl's life, is that feeling of self-worth. A father, when the father receives the girl, when the father affirms the girl, it brings some form of self-confidence to the girl's life. It brings her self-confidence and the feeling of self-worth, and high self-esteem, and a feeling of adequacy, that she's okay. She's okay. She's fine. So a girl needs that. A girl needs that, so that she will not be looking for that kind of affirmation, but she will not think that there is something she needs, or there is not something that she doesn't have. One of the other reasons why this is important is that girls compare themselves with each other normally. Girls like to compare themselves with other girls. So let's say this one is taller and you are not so tall. You might be thinking that there's something you are missing out on, that there's something you don't have. Or let's say they said this girl is beautiful. You have the girls on the magazines, cover magazines, or you see them on television, and you might be thinking, if you are not careful, that it's because I'm not as thin, or I'm not as fine, or I'm not as beautiful, or I'm not as tall, or I'm not as this and that. That's why you are not as successful, or you are not. But that is all because you don't have that adequacy. You don't have that feeling of being adequate, that feeling of self-worth, that feeling of self-esteem. But when you have that feeling of self-esteem and self-worth, you don't have to be judging yourself and thinking that you are worse than any other woman, or that you are worse than any other girl, or you are worse than any other, or your life is not successful because you don't have this or that, or you lack this, or you don't have that because of that or this. But you are okay. You have your confidence through life. You respect yourself. You value yourself, and you don't let anybody manipulate you. That is one of the reasons why a girl needs a man. That's why needs a father. Needs a father in the family. Needs a father in the family. Now, one of the most important points I want to talk about now. The Bible says, honor thy father and thy mother, and it shall be well with you, and you will live a long life. Honor thy father and mother. Can you believe it that the Bible didn't say, love thy father and mother? Love thy father and mother. Is it that we're not supposed to love our father and mother? No, we're supposed to love our father and mother. But why is it that it didn't say, love thy father and mother, but honor thy father and mother? There's a reason for it. And the reason for it is because, yes, the children can say, if this is to the boy and to the girl, you can say, okay, I love my father, I love my mother. That's one thing. But you could love your father and mother, but if you don't honor them, their words will not bring authority. They will not have authority before your eyes. Their words will not be they will not be a law to, their words will not be an authority to you. Their words will not be a restraint to you. Their words will not be restraint to you. So what I'm saying is that the father said, honor thy father and thy mother, because if you honor, if you respect your father, not just respect, this is even more stronger than respect. You're supposed to respect, but even much more, you need to honor your father. When a daughter is taught to honor the father, and the mother too, but especially the father, that is very important for her, because it means that she will respect his words. It means that she will honor his words. It means that his words will matter to her. And why that is important is that whenever now he puts a boundary out, whenever he tells her, don't do this, or don't go there, or don't behave like this, she will know she must obey, or she needs to obey. And when she obeys, it's not for the benefit of the father again, or to the parents' benefit. It's going to be to her own benefit. Because when the father says, don't do that, and she doesn't do it, it will protect her. It will protect her in her life. It will guide her. It will protect her. It will be one of the greatest blessings she will ever receive. Because she would need that respect for her to maintain a straight line in life. She would need that respect for her to escape all kinds of dangers and deceptions of life. She would need that respect that, oh, my father, I don't want my father to be displaced. Oh, I don't want my parents to be displaced. No, I will not do that. It will protect her from a lot of ugly situations. Because that respect will cause her to follow the rules and the boundaries that the father put in place, for her. Because that will become a protection. That will become a protection eventually. So that's why there must be this authority figure, this man figure, this father figure in the life of every girl. Next point. If a girl needs a father for another reason, for yet one more reason, a girl needs a father for her to know that even strong men are human. Because when you are living with your father, sometimes you will see the mistake of that your father. And when you are very small, your father will seem to you like a god. But later on, when you are growing up, you begin to see that your father is not a god after all, and is not perfect. That is also good for you, because if you don't see the imperfection of your parent, you might go through life thinking that the world is perfect and the world is supposed to be perfect. Or your husband will be perfect, or people you meet in life will be perfect. And when they are not perfect, you get depressed. You get broken. But when you live with your father, it's an exemplary life. You see real life. You see the truth, both the good, the bad, the not so good. But you could see your father as a real human being that did his best when he could do it, that was weak or could be sick or could be in bad mood or could, anything could happen. So that you might also be able to understand things like this when they happen in life. So, I cannot overemphasize the role of a father in the life of a man, of a girl. I think we could even write a whole book about this. I think we should write a book about this. Why a father is needed. Why a girl needs a father in her life. Why there is a need for a father. Okay, God bless you, girls and men and women.